Move in shadows, rise in light, the discipline of silent success. In a world increasingly obsessed with attention, applause, and instant gratification, the true art of silent success has quietly faded into the background. We are taught from a young age to share achievements, celebrate wins, and broadcast progress, whether it's acing a test, launching a business, or getting a promotion. But the wisdom of the ages whispers something different. Move in shadows, rise in light. The most powerful transformations often happen away from the crowd, in solitude, through discipline, failure, and persistence, where no cameras exist, no likes are counted, and no one is watching. There was once a man named Aaron who lived in a small town nestled between hills and forests. Aaron wasn't extraordinary by appearance. He worked a simple job at a local shop, spoke rarely, and kept to himself. Many assumed he lacked ambition. What no one knew, however, was that Aaron had a dream. He wanted to build a center that would offer free education and skill development for underprivileged youth in his town. He had no money, no connections, and no influence, just a fire that burned quietly in his chest. For years, Aaron lived modestly. While others spent their evenings in cafes and social gatherings, he studied online courses late into the night. He took up side jobs, learned finance, marketing, and teaching. Every day, he saved. Every hour he wasn't working, he was preparing, sometimes making progress that seemed invisible, even to himself. He told no one. There were times he felt lonely and questioned the worth of his silence. Was it foolish to stay quiet in a world that rewarded noise? But Aaron understood something most didn't. He knew that shouting too early attracts the wrong kind of attention: doubt, envy, criticism, and unnecessary distraction. He knew that announcing every step would invite pressure that could crush a vision before it matured. He wasn't hiding because he was afraid. He was silent because he was focused. Every small move he made in the shadows. But his goal, that bright burning light, never left his sight. Years passed. Aaron's routine never changed. People still saw him as a quiet man who never made a mark. But one spring morning, without warning, flyers appeared all over the town. A new center for youth education and empowerment was opening. Enrollment was free, funded entirely by one man. The villagers were stunned. Who was behind this? When they discovered it was Aaron, the quiet man from the shop, they couldn't believe it. Reporters came. Cameras flashed. Suddenly, Aaron was everywhere. But by then, he didn't need recognition. He had already become who he set out to be. This story may sound simple, even romantic, but the discipline behind it is profound. Silent success isn't about secrecy. It's about sovereignty. It's the act of building in private so that your foundation is too strong to be shaken when you step into the light. It's resisting the urge to be validated before you've become valuable. In a society that equates visibility with worth, it takes immense self-control to work in silence. Think of the bamboo tree. It doesn't break the surface for the first 5 years. During that time, it develops a vast network of roots underground, building a base so strong it can grow 90 feet in just 6 weeks when the time is right. If someone didn't understand its nature, they might assume it was failing. But it was preparing. Human growth can be the same. It's not always visible, but when your roots are deep, your rise is unstoppable. Silent success also protects your energy. When you constantly speak of what you're doing, you give others the power to influence it, intentionally or not. Doubts, suggestions, comparisons, all can dilute your vision. But when you hold your vision privately, like a seed beneath the soil, it stays pure, protected, and personal. You're free to fail, iterate, and evolve without the fear of public scrutiny. Moreover, the discipline of silence builds humility. When you rise quietly, you don't feel the need to boast. Your results speak for you. And when recognition comes, you receive it with gratitude, not entitlement. You understand the value of what you've built because you've lived every painful step of the journey. No shortcut, no applause, just the grind and the grace that follows it. There's a certain elegance in those who achieve quietly. Their presence feels grounded, their actions intentional. They don't walk into rooms demanding respect, they earn it without ever asking. Whether in business, art, relationships, or personal growth, this principle applies. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. True power is calm, true confidence is quiet, and true success, when done right, doesn't need to be shouted from rooftops. It echoes naturally. Of course, this path isn't easy. The temptation to announce your goals for instant praise is real. The desire to prove yourself before you're ready can be overwhelming. But patience is the mark of mastery. When you commit to moving in shadows, you're not choosing weakness, you're choosing clarity, resilience, and control. You're refusing to let external validation define your internal progress. Let the world underestimate you. Let them think you're average. Use that as your fuel. Because when the day comes that you rise, and it will, you won't just surprise them. You'll inspire them, and you'll rise with the quiet power of someone who didn't rush, didn't boast, and didn't beg to be seen. You'll rise because you were too busy becoming to bother performing. That's the art of quiet success. So don't show off. Don't waste your energy trying to impress. Instead, use that energy to improve. Learn when no one's watching. Practice without posting. Let your work become so good that they can't ignore you, even if you've been invisible until now. Remember, gold doesn't need to scream. It just shines.